Welcome, my dear students, to Standard 10th class. Today we are going to study the chemical reactions and equations. We see many chemical reactions taking place in our day to day life. For example, milk turning into curd, ripening of a fruit, etc. In a chemical reaction, when two substances are reacted with each other, breaking of bonds between the two substances take place and a new substance is formed. The substances taking part in the reaction are called as reactants, and the substances formed as a result of a chemical reaction are called products. Formation of carbon dioxide, for example, formation of carbon dioxide gas by combustion of coal in air is a chemical reaction. Let us study the chemical equations in detail. Let us take example of formation of zinc sulfate when zinc dust is added to solution of copper sulfate. It can be written as aqueous solution of copper sulfate plus zinc dust giving you aqueous solution of zinc sulfate plus copper. This simple way of representing a chemical reaction is called a word equation. A word equation can be written in a condensed form by using chemical formulae, which is known as a chemical equation. For example, CuSO4 plus Zn giving you ZnSO4 plus Cu. Let us study now the steps in writing a chemical equation. In a chemical equation, the reactants are written to the left hand side while the products are written to the right hand side. An arrow indicating the direction of the reaction heads towards the products. Second point, if the reactants and products are two or more, they are linked with a plus sign in between them. Third point, to make the chemical equation more informative, the physical states of the reactants are indicated in the equation. Their gaseous, liquid and solid states are indicated by writing small g, small l and small s respectively. If the product is gaseous, instead of writing G, it can be presented as an arrow pointing upwards. On the other hand, if the product is insoluble solid in the form of a precipitate, instead of writing small s, it can be indicated by an arrow pointing downwards. When reactants and products are in the form of a solution in water, they are said to be in aqueous solution state, which can be indicated by putting small aq in brackets after the formula. For example, Cu aqueous plus Zn solid giving you ZnSO4 aqueous plus Cu solid. Fourth point, when heat is to be given from outside to bring about a reaction, it is indicated by the sign delta and is written above the arrow indicating the direction of the reaction. For example, CaCO3 when heated gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide which goes up. Similarly, if the heat is released during the reaction between the aqueous solution of copper sulfate and zinc, it is indicated as CuSO4 plus Zn giving you ZnSO4 plus Cu plus heat. Fifth point, it is necessary to fulfill certain conditions like specific temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. to bring about some reactions. These conditions are indicated below or above the arrow indicating the direction of the reaction. For example, The reaction of vegetable oil takes place at the temperature of 60 degrees Celsius with hydrogen. Necessary to fulfill certain conditions like specific temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. to bring about some reactions. These conditions are indicated below or above the arrow indicating the direction of the reaction. For example, the reaction of vegetable oil takes place at the temperature of 60 degrees Celsius with hydrogen in presence of nickel as catalyst. This is written as vegetable oil plus hydrogen in presence of nickel as catalyst at 60 degrees Celsius. Vanaspati ghee is formed. 6 point. Special information or names of reactants and products are written below their formula. For example, ammonia plus hydrogen chloride giving you ammonium chloride. Let us study the types of chemical reactions now. Chemical reactions are classified into 4 types. First, combination reaction. In combination reaction, when 2 or more reactants combine in a reaction to form a single product, it is called as combination reaction. For example, 2Mg plus O2 giving you 2MgO, magnesium stripped. When burnt in air, a white powder of magnesium oxide is formed. In this case, we can see that the 2 reactants are transformed into a single product. Example number 2, calcium hydroxide is formed by combination of calcium oxide and water with generation of a large amount of heat. It is given as CaO plus H2O giving you CaOH twice plus heat. Second type of reaction, which is the decomposition type of reaction, the chemical reaction in which 2 or more products are formed from a single reactant is called decomposition reaction. For example, calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3, when heated gives calcium oxide, that is CaO, plus carbon dioxide gas is liberated. In this case, we can see calcium carbonate, a single reactant, is decomposed into 2 products which are calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Third type of reaction, displacement reaction, the reaction in which the place of the ion of a less reactive element in a compound is taken by another more reactive element by formation of its own ions is called displacement reaction. For example, CuSO4 plus Fe giving you FeSO4 plus Cu. In the above reaction, Fe displaces Cu from copper sulfate solution, which is more reactive than copper. Another example, CuSO4 plus lead, that is Pb, giving you PbSO4 plus Cu. Cu from copper sulfate solution is being displaced by lead, which is more reactive than copper. Fourth type of reaction, that is double displacement reaction. The reaction in which the ions in the reactants are exchanged to form a precipitate are called double displacement reactions. For example, AgNO3 plus NaCl giving you NaNO3 plus AgCl. In the above reaction, the ions of silver and sodium are exchanged to form silver chloride as precipitate. Let us study now the endothermic and exothermic processes and reaction. In endothermic reaction, heat from outside, that is the surroundings, is absorbed to bring about the chemical change, or heat is continuously supplied from outside. For example, calcium carbonate plus heat giving you calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. In this case, calcium carbonate is provided with heat from outside, as a result of which calcium oxide and carbon dioxide is formed. This type of reaction is called endothermic reaction, wherein heat is being absorbed. Next, exothermic reactions. Reactions in which heat is given out when reactants are transformed into products are called as exothermic reactions. For example, CaO plus H2O giving you CaOH twice plus heat. In this reaction, the heat is liberated. Let us study the factors affecting the chemical reaction now. First, nature of reactants. Let us take example of aluminium and zinc. On reaction of both aluminium and zinc with dilute HCl, hydrogen gas is liberated and water-soluble salts of these metals are formed. However, the reaction of aluminium takes place faster than zinc. The nature of metal is responsible for this difference. Aluminium is more reactive than zinc. Therefore, the nature of reactivity of reactants influences the rate of a chemical reaction. Second, size of the particles of reactants. Smaller the size of the reactant particles, higher is the rate of the reaction. Third point, concentration of the reactants. Concentrated acid reacts faster than dilute acid, which means that the rate of reaction is proportional to the concentration of the reactants. Fourth point, temperature of the reaction. The rate of the reaction, that is the speed of the reaction, increases with the increase in the temperature. Fifth point, catalyst. Let us take an example of potassium chlorate, which decomposes slowly on heating. However, when manganese dioxide is added to potassium chlorate, it decomposes rapidly. No chemical change takes place in manganese dioxide in this reaction. Therefore, it acts as a catalyst. Therefore, catalyst is a substance in whose presence the rate of chemical reaction changes without causing any chemical change to it. Let us study the oxidation and reduction reactions now. Oxidation. In the above reactions 1 and 2, a reactant combines with oxygen, whereas in the reaction 3 and 4, hydrogen is removed from the reactant. All these are oxidation reactions. From this we conclude the chemical reaction in which a reactant combines with oxygen or loses hydrogen to form the product is called oxidation reaction. Reduction reaction. The reaction in which removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen takes place is called as reduction reaction. For example, Fe2O3 plus thrice CO giving you 2Fe plus thrice CO2. In this case, Fe2O3 loses oxygen to form Fe, which is a reduction type of reaction. Redox reaction. Redox reaction is the combination of oxidation and reduction reactions which occur simultaneously. For example, CuO plus H2 giving you Cu plus H2O. In this reaction, an oxygen atom goes away from copper oxide, which means that reduction of copper oxide takes place, whereas hydrogen molecule takes up oxygen atom and water is formed, meaning oxidation of hydrogen takes place. Thus, oxidation and reduction reactions occur simultaneously. This is an example of redox reaction. Corrosion. Due to various components of atmosphere, oxidation of metals takes place, consequently resulting in their damage. This is called corrosion. Iron rust and a reddish colored layer is collected on it. This is corrosion of iron. A certain type of reddish colored solid layer collects on the metallic surface. This layer is called rust. Its chemical formula is Fe2O3xH2O. Rancidity. When we use old leftover cooking oil for making foodstuff, it is found to have foul odor called rancidity. If food is cooked in such oil, its taste also changes. When oil or ghee is left aside for a longer time or fried food is left aside for a longer time, it undergoes air oxidation, that is combination with oxygen, and becomes rancid. Rancidity in the foodstuff cooked in oil or ghee is prevented by using antioxidants. The process of oxidation reaction of foodstuff can also be slowed down by storing it in airtight container.